Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that sits right on and honestly, literally inside the skin of millions of people every single day. We're talking about the hidden, often ignored dangers of gold-plated body jewelry. You know, you might think you know exactly what you're buying when you pick up that shiny, fresh new piece, but the metallurgy and the biology happening behind the scenes? Well, it's a whole lot more complicated and potentially way more dangerous than you probably ever realized.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We tend to look at the shiny, bright surface of a piece of jewelry and we just assume that what we see is what we get, right? We see gold, we think, awesome, it's gold. But what if that gleam is actually hiding a toxic secret? Because here's the thing, when you place metal into a fresh or a healing piercing, you aren't just putting on an accessory. You are introducing a foreign implant into an open wound. And the chemical composition of that implant? It matters immensely.
So to really understand the risk here, we first have to understand what gold-plated jewelry actually is. And it's absolutely crucial to realize that gold plating is quite literally just a decoration. Through an industrial process called electroplating, manufacturers will take a really cheap base metal, almost always something like brass or a copper alloy, and they coat it with this aesthetically pleasing, shiny layer of gold. But this gold isn't structural at all. It doesn't give the jewelry its strength, it doesn't give it its shape. It's basically just a costume being worn by a much cheaper and potentially highly reactive base metal underneath.
And to give you an idea of just how much of a costume this really is, consider these numbers, 0.5 to 5. That is the actual thickness, in microns, of the gold layer on your typical plated jewelry. To put that into perspective for you, a single human hair is roughly 50 to 100 microns thick. That means the tiny layer of gold protecting your sensitive body tissue from the base metal underneath is literally just a fraction of the thickness of a single strand of hair. It is microscopically thin. And because it's so incredibly thin, manufacturers run into a pretty major chemical and physical roadblock.
Which brings us to the manufacturing secret that the jewelry industry kind of hopes you don't know. Because that gold layer is so impossibly thin, and because gold fundamentally doesn't really bond very well directly to brass or copper, manufacturers have to rely on a middleman. Sandwiched right there between your base metal and your pretty gold decoration sits a hidden nickel barrier layer. See, nickel acts as a highly effective adhesion promoter. It creates this incredibly smooth, hard surface that the gold can easily grip right onto. In fact, without this hidden layer of nickel, that microscopic gold decoration would literally just flake off your jewelry in a matter of days. So, while the nickel is absolutely necessary for their plating process to work, it becomes a massive, massive liability for anyone actually wearing this jewelry inside a fresh or healing piercing.
Now here is why that liability is so severe. The biological stakes we're dealing with here are incredibly high. According to REACH Annex 17, Entry 27, which is the major framework governing chemical safety, nickel is officially classified as a skin sensitizer. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, sensitization is a permanent immune system reaction to a substance upon contact. Once your immune system learns to flag nickel as a threat, it reacts to it for life. There's no cure. There is no desensitization protocol you can undergo to fix it. Plus, the allergic reaction tends to actually get worse with each subsequent exposure. Having nickel quietly leach into a healing piercing is not just some temporary irritation or a passing itchy rash. It is a permanent sensitization risk that will dictate exactly what metals you can safely touch for the rest of your life.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens in the real world, because this isn't just theoretical chemistry. It plays out in piercing studios every single day. Take Patrick, for example. He's a body jewelry manufacturer with over 25 years of experience. He regularly sees clients walk into studios wearing cheap, fashion store earrings, only to return a few weeks later with an angry, weeping, heavily swollen piercing. They almost always panic and think it's an infection. But as Patrick points out so clearly, it is not infected. It's a full-blown nickel sensitization reaction. The body's immune system is essentially going to war right at the piercing site, all because that microscopically thin layer of gold failed.
So why does this plating inevitably fail? I mean, you might be wondering, can't I just buy higher quality gold-plated jewelry to solve the problem? Well, actually, scratch that, because the answer is no. It's not a question of quality, it's just a strict question of physics. Inside a piercing channel, there is constant, unavoidable friction. Plus, your natural body fluids are actually mildly corrosive. Add in the natural, everyday movement of your tissue, taking hot showers, sleeping on the piercing, simply changing your clothes, the physics practically guarantee that the gold will abrade. Over a matter of just weeks or maybe months, that microscopic layer rubs away entirely, exposing that toxic nickel barrier directly to your raw healing tissue.
And once that nickel is exposed inside the wound, the numbers get alarming very quickly. The official REACH safety limit for nickel release in post-assemblies, the parts actually inserted into healing piercings, is strictly capped at 0.5 micrograms per square centimeter per week. That's a tiny amount, measured by the EN 1811 testing standard. But here is the frightening reality. Most gold-plated jewelry exceeds this safety limit by an entire order of magnitude, the exact moment that plating wears through. You are essentially flooding a healing wound with highly reactive nickel ions, far, far beyond what the human body is ever expected to safely tolerate.
So right about now, you might be scratching your head wondering, how on earth do these supposedly dangerous products even make it onto store shelves? What about all those shiny stickers and labels proudly declaring the jewelry is completely hypoallergenic? Well, so the crucial point is, here is the frustrating truth. The word hypoallergenic has absolutely no legal or regulatory meaning in most jurisdictions whatsoever. It is purely a fabricated marketing term designed specifically to make you feel safe buying it. Manufacturers can, and they regularly do, just slap the word hypoallergenic right onto packaging for surgical steel that still contains measurable nickel, or onto gold-plated brass that is mathematically guaranteed to expose a nickel barrier layer to your skin. It is a textbook, classic case of clever marketing entirely overriding actual science and consumer safety.
Okay, so to empower you as a smart consumer, let's look at what is actually safe. Plated and filled jewelry might look fantastic sitting there on the shelf, but as we've learned, they hide nickel barriers, they aren't safe for healing, and they will eventually wear off. But compare that to solid 14 to 18 karat gold or anodized titanium. Neither contains nickel, both are completely safe for healing tissue, and crucially, neither of them will ever wear off. It's literally the difference between falling for clever marketing and investing in true biological safety.
And hey, we really need to clarify a massive point of confusion here when it comes to carat value. When people see 24-karat gold plated at the store, they naturally think it's way superior to solid 14-karat gold simply because, well, 24 is a higher number than 14, right? But carat value only describes the gold alloy itself, not what sits beneath it. Sure, 24-karat plating might be pure gold right there on the very surface, but it's sitting over a toxic layer of nickel and brass. On the flip side, solid 14-karat gold means the jewelry is 58.3% pure gold, uniformly blended all the way through with safe, biocompatible metals like silver or palladium. It is entirely homogeneous. There are absolutely no hidden layers, and there is zero nickel to expose.
Now, of course, solid gold can be quite expensive. We all know that. So what is the ultimate, totally cost-effective solution if you still really want that beautiful, safe gold look in a fresh piercing? The absolute best answer is anodized titanium, but specifically verified to the ASTM F136 standard. This is literal medical implant-grade metal. But again, you have to be careful. It's vital that you don't just trust a brand's random marketing claims online. You have to verify that the metal meets the exact ASTM F136 standard to ensure it's truly biologically compatible with your body.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is the science behind how titanium actually achieves that gold color. It is pure, biocompatible magic. It doesn't use a dye, it doesn't use a pigment, and there is no plating. Instead, it uses a fascinating physical phenomenon called structural color. Through a really cool process called anodization, an electrical current is used to thicken the natural oxide layer of the titanium itself. This causes thin film interference. That's actually the exact same physics that makes a delicate soap bubble or a slick of oil on a puddle look so colorful. But with titanium, it's totally permanent. Because the gold color is literally just light refracting through the metal's own structural oxide layer, there's absolutely no plating to flake off, there's literally nothing to wear away.
So, we've covered a lot today. We've uncovered the hidden nickel layers, the totally inevitable physics of plating failure, and the scientifically proven safe alternatives. So I leave you with this. The next time you see a bright, shiny piece of jewelry claiming to be hypoallergenic, what are you going to do? Will you take that marketing at face value, or will you step up and demand the official safety standards? Remember, your immune system's memory is completely permanent, so make sure your standards for what you actually put inside your body are too. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.